Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Nom Bros Pod. Welcome back. We're your hosts, Justin.
And I'm John. What's up, man? How you doing?
Doing well, doing well. Happy Sunday. How's your weekend going?
Pretty low key. I watched the new movie, The Backrooms. I don't know if you've heard of it. I had never watched any of these YouTube home short movies called The Backrooms from Kane Parsons or Kane Pixels or something.
That's
Uh,
gotta be
that's
Kane.
gotta be Kane. But I was actually surprised. I was pleasantly surprised. It was very atmospheric, moody, creepy. I watched it last night. Amanda went to bed early, and I was out on the couch, and it was a bootlegged version. Someone posted the whole thing on YouTube.
Those are the best ones,
So
dude. Those
yeah,
are the best ones.
yeah. And I wanted to go see it in theaters because it's been getting rave reviews. But yeah, I was posted on YouTube, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna watch this." And I was pretty pleasantly surprised. It was kind of creepy. And then after that, I went on this deep dive on YouTube, like watching all these found footage originals from this guy who made the movie. He's like 20 years old, and it's insanely good. I'll have to send you one specifically about this guy who's like, it's a found footage one of this guy who's exploring an abandoned mall. He comes across this weird statue, like art statue, and he's like, I don't like this creepy thing. Or he's like, this fucking thing's ugly. He says something like that, and as soon as he says that, all the lights in the mall kind of come alive and like the carousel, like music and stuff. And anytime he turns his back to this thing, it like rolls after him
Hmm,
unless he looks at it. And
interesting.
it is it was one of the creepiest things I've ever seen. And I was like, gosh, this is fucking scary. I'm gonna send it to you and you watch it. But it's like this kid who like makes these home movies. Now he's directing. And I was fucking impressed by it, and now I hope there's a sequel because it was pretty intriguing and disturbing, and obviously pretty symbolic, different meanings of what this all means when you watch it. But I liked it. I would recommend it.
That's rad. Hearing you talk about like home found movies, always makes me think of Blair Witch. Dude,
Hmm.
Tubi has some of the most underrated films, documentaries, shows. I was just
Really?
watching this like fan-made documentary, but it's like kind of technically like a sequel to Blair Witch Project, but
Okay.
it's not canon, but it's like legit. And the whole point of it is it's like a documentary filmed about the three main characters from Blair Witch Project who went missing. It's a
Hmm.
documentary about that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty rad, dudes. We actually just got linked up with Hulu, which
Yeah.
we've never had. So just started watching a few things over the
Hmm.
weekend, and a little thing I've been binge watching the last 2 days is fucking Jersey Shore. I know I hit you a few days ago asking about the DVDs, but they have, don't even worry about it because they got every season of Jersey Shore posted, so we've been binging that a little bit.
Nice.
Some good stuff,
Nice.
man. But yeah, obviously watch War of the Worlds too, which we're going to be diving into in tonight's episode, which I'm really looking forward to. And everybody watching, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been a really positive last few weeks for the channel, so we want you guys to know we really appreciate everybody subscribing, liking, commenting. Like, there's just been a lot of positive activity, man. So, thank you guys so much. Keep it coming. Really excited for tonight's episode. With that being said, before we get to War of the Worlds, there's a few things I wanted to bring up to you to kind of segue into a movie like that, a Steven Spielberg movie about aliens, really. And the first thing is Disclosure Day. That's coming up here in, mid-June. What is that, June 18th it's being released, or June 14th or some shit
June
like that?
12th, less than two
June
weeks.
12th. Are you looking forward to this? Like, what are your thoughts on this movie coming out, man?
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited for it. I think it looks good. The trailer kind of has me a little split though. Like I think it looks good, but the tone in the trailer is like dark and creepy, but then also I can already tell I don't like the music choice. Like I don't want it to turn into too like a like disclosure day. You're disclosing that there's aliens or whatever. Like it seems like Spielberg gave an interview, I guess, promoting this, and he's like, "This is going to change the human race, the most important announcement of all time." Right? I don't want it to go to like family friendly ET or
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, definitely.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's funny you say that because Kelly and I just watched the final trailer and I was literally telling her this is probably going to sound like a ridiculous statement.
is it
And
gonna go too
if it
Stranger
does, I
Things or something?
apologize. But I'm more or less looking forward to the message of the movie rather than the movie, if that
Okay,
makes sense.
yeah,
Because yeah, I watched this last trailer and there's a few things that are kind of like I'm not watching these trailers saying that looks amazing. Now
right.
trust me, I'm gonna be there. We're gonna be watching. And I'm very excited. But there's a lot about the trailer that I don't know, it's kind of rubbing I don't want to say it's rubbing me the wrong way, but it's really not gassing me
Agreed,
up the way I
agreed.
thought it would,
Hmm.
months ago when the news broke. But as
Or War
far
of the
as
Worlds, the way War of the Worlds gassed you up, like
oh man,
the
yeah.
trailer for that, which we'll get to, like it just,
Yeah.
you're right, like the tone seems off or something.
It does. I'm more excited for the message of the movie than the actual
I
movie,
get
if that
that.
makes any type of
Hmm.
sense. So, obviously it was, filmed. A lot of the filming was here in New Jersey, Woodbine, a town called Woodbine, which is literally like 15, 20 minutes away, right down Route 47. I'm there multiple times a week, and I've actually seen some of the places, that they've, filmed. Like, for example, there's this very popular brewery, there's this very popular ice cream stand. Like, I know exactly where they're at. So, I mean, things like that kind of draw you in, kind of like when they
Sure.
were filming in cornfields, in Bucks County back with
Yeah.
Science, so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
hear shit like that and it really like gasses you up. But yeah, the trailers I've seen, I don't know, like I'm not like sold on the movie itself, but with everything happening in the real world, I'm really excited to see the parallels. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, I get that. That's fair. And I'm probably
yeah.
with you.
So yeah, I mean, we'll be talking more about that. We plan on watching, that opening weekend. We'll be there. So really excited to check it out, but when it comes to this movie, Disclosure Day, and everything that's happening in the real world, it's mind-boggling. And there's a few things that I wanted to dive into prior to the War of the Worlds discussion.
Did you say mind-boggling or mind-boggling?
Mind-boggling, like when your mind is trapped in a bottle.
Yeah.
Um, you know, there's been so much, with government files, CIA files, and it's been all over the internet. So it's not like we're presenting really any new information whatsoever. It's been out there. And if we're being technical about it, it's been out there for even longer than the last few months. It's just people really haven't been taking it serious, specifically Tom DeLonge, from Blink 182. Man, he's been talking the shit they've been releasing, these UFO
For a
files, these
decade.
government files for decades on podcasts, in interviews, and people have been shitting on him. The most notably is the Joe Rogan one, which is like hilarious to me because he literally like shits on Tom DeLonge the entire podcast episode from start to finish. But then when he has like scientists on or like pilots of the Navy on who are literally like talking about the same thing Tom DeLonge was talking about 5 years prior to that
Hmm.
episode, he's like so intrigued by it. So this shit that they've been coming out with has been communicated to the public for some time now.
Right.
And there's a lot there from the interdimensional travel to the fucking aliens. Have you been following any of this? And if so, what are your thoughts?
I have been mostly when they release new videos, from the DoD, Department of Defense, or, Pentagon, like, oh, this Navy ship caught this on camera, or these pilots, like, I'll watch those. I've been reading about it, and I think there's a weird, something else that kind of popped up into the news and then it just dropped back out again, like everything else, because we have the attention span of, a toddler as a country. All those missing scientists, you bring up Tom DeLonge.
11 of them, right?
Yeah, do you know that Tom DeLonge, when he was on the Rogan podcast and when he first started talking about this, he was friends, or friends, I say that loosely. He met up when he talks about meeting this high level ranked official in an
Right.
airport restaurant. He's talking about one of these missing scientists.
Wow.
Yeah,
Specifically one of them.
specifically one of
No
these
shit.
missing scientists.
I didn't know
He
that.
reached out to Tom DeLonge and was like, "If you want information, I can give you information. We have to meet up and everything." He literally, and that's in these articles I was reading the other night, is like Tom DeLonge is referenced in these CNN articles, Fox News, MSNBC, ABC. Like, Oh, former Blink-182 frontman or Blink-182 frontman Tom DeLonge knew this professor and claimed to have a one-on-one sit down about information, top secret confidential information about different technologies and what have you, about space travel and the whole nine yards. So I thought that was pretty, again, what are the chances that Tom DeLonge, says he met this guy and then 10 years later that guy goes missing? You asked me what my thoughts are about it. Like, I don't know that does art imitate life or does life imitate art? Like, what are the
Or does
chances?
life imitate Andy?
Like, what if all these film directors and movie directors were hand selected and hand chosen to deliver messages to the public and to the people, selling it as entertainment and just art and whatnot, but it's actually breadcrumbing the public
Hmm.
to soften the blow,
Hmm.
to lighten the paranoia and fear and anxiety that could come with some of these revelations that are going to be released to the public. Maybe,
Right.
perhaps one day. Like, what if Steven Spielberg was just chosen 50 years ago when he made Jaws, and they're like, he's good. We're gonna need him to make us a movie one day. Let's start with E.T. Let's keep it family friendly, aliens
Yeah.
first, and then Close Encounters, a little bit darker, but still family friendly. And then
Or
we'll
is
let
he a
him.
fucking interdimensional traveler? You know, like
Yeah,
you brought this point up a few weeks ago with George Lucas, like what are the chances? We're over here disclosing UFO files and four different species of quote unquote aliens right before a summer blockbuster disclosure day.
right, right.
Like, not only have they come out and talked about interdimensional travel, but they've come out and talked about there's four species that
I
they
saw that.
are aware of.
Hmm.
They have the Nordics, which are very similar looking to us, but about 7, 8 feet tall, blue eyes,
Specifically
long.
us, the
Yeah, like specifically
Norwegians.
like Norwegian, Scandinavian, but they stand like 7, 8 feet tall. You
Yep.
have the grays, which are like your typical aliens anybody thinks of, like signs, like
Hmm.
that's like a gray. But then the two that are really so intriguing to me is you have the reptilians, which literally like are reptiles standing on like two legs with a fucking tail. It
And
kind of makes me think of like the Geico mascot, the
hmm
fucking little guy, but like 10 feet tall. And then
wearing a human skin suit over the reptilians.
yeah, straight
Yeah.
up. And then you have
Starship Trooper
this
insectoids.
yeah, the insectoids, which is literally what it sounds like
Yeah.
giant insects. And it's like you look at that paired with the interdimensional travel, and this is why I really wanted to bring it up because I promise you I'm going somewhere with this. It loops back to something we talked about for weeks on this show, and I really wanted to get your perspective on it. Tom DeLonge brought it up many times, and now the government is confirming it. Time is not linear, time is parallel, meaning everything that ever has happened and everything that ever is going to happen is happening right now, but just in different frequencies. So when they talk about time travel, it's not like the movie fucking
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future where it's like you're going back in time. Like, how do I do that? How do I go back in time if time only moves this way? Well, I always look at it as in so many people think of time travel and going back into time like rewinding like a cassette tape, like press
Hmm.
stop and rewind it because it has to go this way. But it's not like that at all. It's actually like a record needle on a fucking record player, like just
Mm.
picking it up and placing it to this song. Like that's essentially what time travel is. It's not going back in time, it's not jumping to the future. It's just jumping to a different frequency because everything that's ever happened or everything is going to happen is just happening right now. So it's finding that
Gotcha.
frequency, right?
Gotcha.
And when you think about it like that, that's what Tom DeLonge was talking for years, been talking for years, and now the government has confirmed that. Two questions for you. One, if everything that's ever happened is happening right now, does that mean we are eternal because everything that's ever happened is happening right now? And even when we die, like we're being birthed right now. Like we're going to first grade right now, right? So like does that mean we are eternal in that perspective? And
It
then on
certainly
top
sounds like Russ Cole was right.
exact that's dude, that's where I'm getting at. If so, where does consciousness loop back when we die? Do we go back to the beginning And is that exactly what we've been talking about for weeks with True Detective, where time is a flat circle? Now, it may not dive too deep like some of these discussions we're having tonight do, that like Tom DeLonge's been talking about, but it's literally like the same concept. Like, if everything is happening right now, but just in different frequencies, wouldn't that mean everything just repeats itself? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a possibility, right? Like it kind of reminds me of like Interstellar, where,
Mhm.
you know, all of time is more in a different dimension. Like it's tangible, right? Like Matthew McConaughey comes down into that prism, like that big three-dimensional but extra-dimensional cube, if you will, and he is like seeing himself in past times, and he's able to manipulate it by like banging on it, and that is what the ghost was, you know, the whole time in his daughter's bedroom was him from a different dimension looking down, kind of talking similar to like Russ Cole looking down, you know, at, you know, those from above or outside of our existence or plane, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but
Mhm.
clearly. But yeah, I mean, I think it's possible.
Tying back in the Russ Cole, time is a flat circle. Like, if everything is happening right now
Hmm.
that has ever and will
Oh,
ever.
right,
So,
right,
for
right, right.
example, like 1,000 years from now is happening right now, just in a different frequency. Doesn't that mean people like you and me, everybody lives eternally, but just not in the mindset
Sure.
that we may be used to hearing about with eternal life,
Maybe our
right?
mindsets are different in each life. You know what I mean by that? Like, you're saying like if our lives it's like our spirits
Hmm.
essentially are is what carries on eternally. I guess that could make sense for sure. That kind of also like kind of goes into deja vu in a way. Like that could
Mm,
explain like deja vu or like those
for
weird
sure.
phenomenons that are, you know, the familiarities that happen day by day, week by week, whenever, like places you've never been or like songs you've never heard but just seem so familiar. The Mandela effect or Mandela effect, whatever that phenomenon is, it could kind of correlate with all those things. I kind of, you know, in that like regard, I would say I'm more so if that were the case and that were true, I've always been super fascinated by like young people who are born and they like are talking to their parents about previous lives they've lived and can give detailed accounts of like one kid was drawing an airplane from World War II who had
Yeah.
no prior, you know, and their parent no prior, you know, exposure to this airplane and the parents are like, "What's that?" And he's like, "I flew this plane during the war."
Yeah,
And
dude.
he gives a name and they looked up like the historical records of it and somehow this kid knew that he was shot down in the Pacific Ocean during World War II. Like I don't know how you
Yeah.
explain that. And I feel like that could kind of correlate to what you're saying as well. Like the spirit goes on, right, eternally. And even if you don't, maybe you relive your life, but like in different chapters of time, what we pick up as time. So if you're going to be born again, maybe not 1994, maybe it'll be uh, 2104 is the next
Hmm.
time you're born, but into the same life,
Hmm.
but a different timeline of society.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, maybe you were a World War
Mhm.
II pilot, you know. I don't know. Like it's like your
No, I dig where
spirit
you're going.
carries on. Your spirit like maybe jumps into different lives of different people.
I dig
But
that.
they say it's all connected anyway, right? Like all things are connected. Everything is one. Everything
Yeah.
is all universal. Butterfly effect, one little thing here affects, you know, a bigger thing over here. But like, what if it's all, you know, connected like that? So I don't know if that answers your question. I
No,
don't
for
even know how to
sure.
explain it because it like a lot of it goes over my head. Like it's just it's crazy to think about, really
Yeah.
fascinating, but there's a lot to unpack there for sure.
Oh man, so much to unpack. When you brought up Interstellar, like, I've had a lot of discussions like where people are like, well, is time the fourth dimension? Because of like that scene you're talking about where it's like he's in that room with his daughter and he's flipping the books down, like, but he's there, but it's obviously like in the past, like
And the
that
future.
and the future, right?
Right.
And that, like, it's just there's so much there and it's so intriguing, but I just thought the fact that this has been brought to the mainstream media, and it's like classified files for like 70, 80 years, like saying no, like this shit is real,
For sure.
primarily with like the other species and the interdimensional travel. And as soon as I saw that confirmation was there, it just made me think of True Detective because in a way it's exactly the time is a flat circle thing. And does consciousness start over? Does it go on to a different chapter the way you're talking about? Do we just end like this is our time and that's it? Or is all this bullshit and just, other people's beliefs is the real thing? Like, who knows? I just found it so intriguing that, Disclosure Day is coming out and all this shit, with the mainstream media and aliens and interdimensional travel is coming out. And then you and I are like, yeah, we're going to be talking about War of the Worlds. So I just thought it'd be so appropriate to
Yeah.
start. So,
Yeah.
my apologies if it took over too much time,
No,
but I just
no.
wanted to, bring it up and just kind of pick your brain on it for a little bit because, I'm just absolutely fascinated by it. I think it's
I am
incredible.
too. I am too. I think I'm most fascinated just about the timing of it.
Hmm.
A little sketched out about the timing of it. I think
I
it's
can dig that.
also super important to take everything with a grain of salt because at the end of the day, it's like, okay, are you like Steven Spielberg gives this interview and he's like, it's so, are you saying it's just a movie or are you not? Yes, there is, or no, there
No, there
isn't.
is. Yes.
Yes. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, can you just stop being vague? Like, if you just, he has come out and said, like, yeah, I believe in other dimensional beings and whatnot, and there's going to be a lot coming out that's going to expose that. Like,
Hmm.
okay, well, is this a movie then? Or is there stuff in this movie that is reportedly, from sources and files that you were given access to for the purpose of this movie? You know what I mean? Like, I think it's,
Hmm. He's taking the WWE approach where he's like
yeah,
working the work. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
And I
Like
can't
he,
stand that. Like, that's why
yeah,
I'm such a skeptic when it comes to everything then after, to begin with, anything that the government says, it's like I can't really, you have been
Jesus.
proven to have lied time and time again
Are you kidding
about
me?
world changing events,
Are
that
you
have
kidding
affected
me?
our lifetime. Like, so with something as big as aliens and Disclosure Day, I'm also just like, yeah, but what are you selling us right now to
Hmm.
distract us away from what else is the bigger picture, if you will? You know what I mean? So,
Dude, couldn't agree more. I don't know if you saw this maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, like the CIA released these codes and it was numbers where it's like if you do this, you can read people's minds. If you do this, you can like it was just like such
hmm,
bullshit. And so many people were posting on like TikTok and YouTube like saying, guys, they released the key to like the universe. And if you say these words or these numbers over and over again, you get wealth and you get, this and you
yeah,
get that. And I'm like, if anybody trusts anything from the fucking CIA, I literally commented this
right.
on like 400 posts. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. Like they literally intentionally have like sabotaged communities and killed people and fucking
Yeah,
started wars and riots and shit. So I'm like, if you're actually taking something like this and believing it,
right.
you're a
Absolutely.
dumbass. So
No,
I can totally dig with what you're saying about that because I couldn't agree more. This one hit me a little differently though because of the Tom DeLonge aspect.
sure.
And since he's been talking this shit for over 10 years, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
but
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I think it's I mean, to go back to it, I am excited to watch the movie. But yeah, for you, like you said, it's going to be more about the message, and I'm going
yes,
to be reading between the lines like I haven't before in a movie in some time. Like I'm
same.
going to be looking for the subtle hidden innuendos and listening to the lines and not just going into it looking for an alien attack and destroy everything type movie like War of the Worlds. I want to hear what they have to say about it.
Hmm.
I want to see what they try to slip in without people acknowledging or paying attention to, I guess.
Yeah, dude. Yep. And if I may just add this, and then we can, jump to War of the Worlds. With the time travel thing, I think it just is, dude, it like, I don't know why, it just like has such a grasp on me because of when you hear about going back in time, it sounds so impossible and just such a stupid idea. Well, how do I take back everything that happened to go back to the 60s to save the world? And once again, like they're not saying that. They're just saying like that's happening right now. You just have to find the door, essentially. Like you have to be able to
Change
create
frequencies.
that portal, change frequencies. And it's like when it's broken down like that, just so many of these things like kind of like make sense a little bit more to me. And I'm like, man, that is like so crazy. So yeah,
Yeah.
more to come. We'll talk more about it. We'll check out Disclosure Day coming up here in shit, 2 weeks already.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the homework. War of the Worlds, 2005. I will never forget this. You and I saw this in theaters. I can't
Hmm.
remember if we saw it with Jess, Sarah, or both, but we saw it in theaters, summertime, Pottsville. And before we dive to the actual movie itself, do you remember the night we saw it? Was like the gnarliest thunderstorm ever with the lightning and everything. And we were in our room, which was the attic, renovated,
Yeah, yeah.
fucking scared shitless. Do you remember that?
I do. Yep, that was funny. You're
Oh
right though.
man.
We did see it in theaters
Hmm.
twice.
Oh, was it twice, bro?
We went with, I think, the girls the first time, like opening weekend, and then Dad took us to that 99-cent theater down in
Oh,
Reading.
okay.
Yeah, by that Wendy's, the best Wendy's of all time.
And then we probably stopped and got a malt
Yeah,
shake.
shakes. Yeah,
Uh, I will say this, dude. As a kid, I loved this movie. I thought
same.
it was so good. Now, there's
So
certainly
did I.
things with the aliens and the tripods that, in my opinion, holds up. I
Hmm.
love the tripod scenes to this day, but as a whole, I do think it's a terrible movie.
I do
Would you?
too. I couldn't
Okay.
agree more.
Yeah.
We watched it again just for the purpose of this, and I couldn't. There were I just found myself picking everything apart. I thought the script was horrible. None of it
Mhm.
made fucking sense. The only saving grace it has is the special effects. That's all. Like the special effects really hold the test of time.
Yeah.
Like yeah, every scene with these tripods and the design of the tripods, the sound design, the sound mixing is
Ooh, that
great,
sounds
pretty
so cool.
chilling. Yeah.
Yeah.
But outside of that, outside of the 10, 15 minutes of tripod alien action, the movie sucks. It's one of Spielberg's worst movies he's
Yeah.
ever made. I don't know, like I remember being hyped and just amped up for this movie to come out. And I guess outside of appealing to like young boys who love action movies and doomsday destruction, like it's just not good. And it makes me
Mhm.
wonder, like, I wanted to look up like how long of the shooting schedule was. Like, did he just rush through this? I don't understand it. Like compared to his other films, it's just super lackluster in everything,
Yeah.
every category but the special effects.
And if we don't even go too deep into the onion, but we just focus on the surface level shit, I mean, the casting and just the writing of the main characters,
Hmm.
specifically the kids, will ruin the movie for you.
I
If we
agree.
just solely focused on the surface type shit, you know
I
what I mean?
agree. Let's start from the top. I think, one thing I loved about the movies when I was a kid was the theatrical posters that would be released. Like you go to the movies or you go to a blockbuster and rent a movie, and they always had the giant, like you have in your room,
Mhm.
the movie posters, the advertisement
27 by
posters.
40, yep.
I love that. And I always thought War of the Worlds was awesome. It hyped you up for it. It was a true doomsday. This isn't going to be any comedy, no holds barred action. Humans are becoming extinct or being for extermination, for the purpose of extermination. That's the purpose of this movie. And I love that when it comes to like, okay, this is a doomsday. You're trying to ramp up the audience's anxiety levels and make them think about what it would be like for the end of the world.
Yep.
The movie poster itself captures that. The trailer I remember was great. And honestly, the opening scene really builds that dread as well. But
Hmm.
before we get there, there's just so much wrong with it. Tom Cruise gets off work. It shows him in his little crane operator, in New York
Yeah.
City. And
Yeah.
at first glance, I remember watching it. I was like, oh, by the end of this movie, he's going to be driving a tripod.
Wow, wow, that's a great like
I was,
theory based off
yeah,
what you're seeing. I
yeah, I
didn't think
was
of that, but
like,
I
I
get
was
it.
I was worried about that the first time we ever watched it. I was like, if
Me
he
too.
drives a tripod
And
by
like
the end
start
of
fighting
this,
other tripods with it.
yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God he didn't. But
I mean, just as well though. I mean, because he's got the cool muscle car, he's whipping corners in fucking
at
Jersey
8 a.m.
City.
in Jersey
Yeah.
City,
Yeah.
driving, yeah, fucking 80 miles an hour, just acting like a true douchebag, like who never grew up, like.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
and then you get out of the car and it's Tom Cruise. It's like, of course it's Tom Cruise.
Yeah. And something else too, not to like dig too deep into this, but literally everybody else at the work site is wearing their helmets and it's like, oh, Rebel Tom Cruise wearing
Too
his
cool
New
for
York
school.
Yankees hat. He comes walking out holding the helmet. It's like just little like subtle things like that. You're like, okay, like
Yeah.
nice
Yeah,
job.
they have to break down in the first 2 minutes of the movie what kind of person Tom Cruise's Ray
Yeah.
Farrier is. You know what your problem is? Yeah, I can find a few women who'd be happy to tell you. Like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Now he's a womanizer too. He's got to be super cool womanizer
Yeah.
driving the muscle car, and it's like
Yeah.
it's typical, you know.
And literally, like, not to get too far ahead of us, we'll talk about this when we get there, but the song he sings to his daughter Rachel is about having the hottest wheels in town. I'm like, give me a fucking break. This is the dumbest shit
You don't know,
I've
you
ever
can't
seen, bro.
think of one children's lullaby. Like seriously.
Straight up, you're talking about a muscle car song. I'm like, you don't know, like, I can't
She
even think
she
of a,
looks at him like, Dad, are you serious? Like, please,
yeah,
I hope the
seriously.
aliens get me. You're a loser.
Dude, straight up, quite the introduction to Tom Cruise, and he obviously pulls up 8:30, said 8 o'clock, and, out comes potentially the two most arrogant, annoying, I fucking hate these
Rich
characters, his two
kids.
kids, Robbie and Rachel.
Yeah.
I just cannot stand them. I know we spent 3 weeks talking about Luke Skywalker being just a annoying POS. That's his kids in this.
Yeah, they suck. Everything about
Yep.
Oh, it's Dakota Fanning. She's such a good actress. Yeah, she's too good because I don't care two shits about this little girl in this movie or the son. They like if I was Tom Cruise and they were my kids, you bet your ass I'd be trying to ditch them off on my ex-wife too because I
Straight
can't
up. Yeah.
see they're
Absolutely.
they're the most annoying like everything about them. Yeah, they're whiny. Is like, oh,
Terrible.
you don't have TiVo. Tim got it from my room. I can watch it after all my homework. And like
Yep.
ordering from the health food place, like hummus and shit. Like
Yep.
they're just rich, snobby.
Giant mansion on the hills.
Right.
They kickstart my hatred for this movie as an adult.
Right.
Yeah, so the introduction to these two kids really turns me off. And, throughout, they hop right out the car. They can't even like say hello. Robbie doesn't even acknowledge Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise says the door is locked, and then 10 seconds later he's like, the door is locked. Or, they transition to like the baseball scene, and that's something else that gets me. This movie is about
You're right.
potentially the end of the world. I cannot stand it when serious type movies we were talking about with like Titanic or like Pearl Harbor. Why the need to try to sprinkle some funny ass shit? Turns me off. It really does,
Me
and it makes
too.
me like despise it that much more.
Me
It's
too.
about aliens trying to exterminate
Exterminate.
mankind. We don't need the sprinkles. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I agree. The door is locked. Well, if you took your fucking headphones out and like
Yeah.
acknowledged another human being that you're like, I don't understand. Like, of course the door's fucking locked. He just got home from work, dipshit. Like, if you took your headphones
Right.
out, you would fucking know that.
Dude, straight up,
Yeah, so annoying. And
And
yeah,
like the baseball gag, where he comes out, he puts on a Boston, huh? That's how it's gonna be. Whatever, Ray. He literally calls Ray like 80 times. If I'm Tom Cruise and he calls me Ray once, like we're gonna have some problems. Like,
Tom Cruise has to hide the fact that he even has a gun from these kids. Like, oh, what?
yeah,
They're gonna have nightmares knowing that daddy has a fucking handgun. Like, oh my God. Like,
straight up,
and
dude.
what's
And
up with the Boston hat? Only when he goes to dad's house because when he takes them back home
yeah,
in the picture, he's got the New York Yankees hat on. So it's like he's
yeah,
just deliberately pushing buttons.
yeah. Just a spoiled bitch.
Yep.
He's Luke
Bitch.
Skywalker 2.0. Can't stand his character. Or Dakota Fanning's. They're, like I said, the worst kids in any movie ever.
I agree.
Um,
I
but the
agree.
sprinkles continue through the baseball gag. Tom Cruise takes a nap, because he quote unquote works for a living.
Why also does the ex feel the need to walk in and open his refrigerator and smell his milk
Straight up.
and the stepdad? And then the stepdad senses it's awkward. He's like, I'm gonna wait outside. It's like, well, yeah,
I
no one
will.
invited you in. Like, why did you just walk in, bud? Like,
Yeah,
who are you?
straight up. Like they paint him to be like this much better of like a parental figure than Tom Cruise. Meanwhile, he's letting his like 8 month pregnant wife like carry the bag. Like, oh, I thought Tim was supposed to be like this much better father figure than Tom Cruise, but like she grabs this
Right,
like 40 pound luggage and
right.
tries to like, bring it up.
And
Now I
Tom
will
Cruise is like, she said she could get
she
it.
said she's got it.
I'm with you,
But
Tom. She did.
I will say though, I one of the first cool scenes, I do like the storm scene
Hmm.
to an extent because the
Same.
sprinkles ruin it. The sprinkles ruin it. Like he goes outside, everybody's looking, in the backyard. He turns around and, he says, "Hey, let's go to the backyard. We'll get a better view." Blah blah blah. And they go back to the backyard, and the lightning starts to hit. I love it at first, but then the sprinkles come, and it's Dakota Fanning being scared, and he's like, "Oh, it's like the 4th of July," and he starts like singing the Star Spangled Banner, and then like it hits, and he gets scared and like stumbles over a chair, and it's like once again, stop with the comedy. It's
Right.
fucking killing me. You know what
Yep.
I mean? Like it
I
really is too
I
much.
agree completely. Great scene of like the initial attack, essentially, right? Like the lightning
Yeah.
is, we find out what the lightning is, but then it's so obvious and clear that they lose electric, right?
Yes.
Why do we need a 5 minute scene of Tom Cruise? Literally, like that's a movie of like some A-list celebrity lose. That's Tom Cruise actually losing power to his house in Hollywood and not knowing what it means to lose power.
Yeah. Just
He's
like
like
a
walking
random
around.
thunderstorm. He's like, please stop. No, no more questions.
But then, yeah, and then he's like, okay, I gotta try every light switch in my house. Okay, none of the lights are working. I have to open the fridge. It's like he's up there, like, camera pans to him taking his shit and like trying to test the flusher. And he's like, we don't flush either. Like, nothing's working. It's like
He's
he
like
picks up
hitting
his.
it like Anakin Skywalker and Phantom Menace, like
Pressing
not
everything.
good.
He's
Not
like trying to
good.
start the oven, like picks up his phone, there's no dial tone. It's like, okay, bud, like you've never
Right.
lost power before. You don't realize like what it means, like how many times you have to check it. There's no fucking power. We get it, movie. Move on. You don't have to insult the audience by like you lost fucking power. Okay, get on
Yeah.
with it. So then he goes outside and everyone's just like, what the hell? Like everything's dead. He
Yeah.
walks down past
Manny.
Manny might be the
Manny.
dumbest character in the
We're
entire.
gonna get to Manny in a bit.
Yeah,
Trust me, we're gonna get to Manny.
he might be the dumbest
Yeah.
character in the entire film. Stardust fried. I don't know. Lightning didn't even come close to hitting it. I don't know what's wrong with
Yeah.
it. I think I was gonna try changing the solar lines and
Coming up to that initial tripod introduction scene is sorry, I thought all electronics were out in the, introduction scene to the tripods. You got people with cameras and you got people with the VHS cameras,
camcorders.
like
Yeah,
camcorders.
yeah,
So I'm sorry, I thought all shit was out. And then when the tripod comes through and starts shooting, you have a woman try to get in her car and fucking start it. It's like, have
yeah.
you not
Right,
been paying attention?
right,
Like nothing has been starting or working for the last what, like hour, half an hour? Like, yeah,
right.
I'm gonna get in my car and try to start it
Exactly.
and drive away. Just a few things that caught my attention leading up to, in my opinion, the second best scene of the movie.
I agree. I think that introduction is, for all purposes, as far as alien attacks go, that might be up there with one of the best
It's good.
to start. It really is. Now, that it's not without its flaws, though.
No.
For one, I want to say, I want to ask, whatever happened to the two guys in the cherry picker? That would be the worst spot to be, but somehow I think they make it.
Yeah,
Like, because
sure.
like the tripod comes up and he doesn't go after them. He just starts shooting at, the people on the street right away. For
Like
one, though,
hiding in plain sight.
yeah, I couldn't imagine being that dumb. Like, what are those? Are they supposed to be in like a trance-like state by this thing? Like, it's supposed to hypnotize you with like its fluid, like squid-like movements or something? Because that would be the only way to explain why 1,000 people are going to witness this clearly interstellar, intergalactic, uh, piece of weaponry that has clearly been hiding underground for obviously millenniums at this point, emerge from underground, clearly loading up its super laser beam blasters.
Hmm.
It's like its arms drop down and it's like you can hear the supercharging going into effect, and everyone's just like, what's
In
it
awe.
doing? Like,
Yep.
oh my gosh, we've never seen one of these before.
Yep.
Even Tom Cruise, and it's like, I don't know. Not only would have I been out of New York City by then, I, I don't know. Like I would be long gone, not waiting to see what that's all about. But it's a great
Yeah.
attack scene. The destruction, the special effects are amazing. I feel like it really holds up in that regard. But how, when he goes home, it's clear he walks by Manny's shop to get there.
My
And then
God.
coming home, he didn't go by Manny's, I guess. Manny is just still outside working on cars, not seeing all this shit going on
Hmm.
4 blocks away. He goes
Yeah.
home, like the kids would have had a perfect view of this from their kitchen door, like they were where they were watching the lightning. How do you not see this 500-foot tall metal tripod emerge from the ground? You don't hear the screams, you don't see the explosions, the smoke, none of it. Like, oh, that's right,
Every
because she was still trying to get her TiVo to work, and Robbie was probably trying to find a new plan to escape. Like, the
everything
least observant children ever.
everything you just said, I was gonna make it a point to bring that up. How do you not hear it? How do you not see it? How do you not feel it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's damn near impossible, in my opinion, more or less for Manny though, rather than the
Yeah.
kids, because at
Yeah.
least they're inside. Manny is outside, when, Tom Cruise comes out with his kids and they're going up like, please work, please work, please work. He is so oblivious to everything that's going. He's literally working on this fucking van. Not to mention, there's thousands of people running and screaming past him, covered in this ash. Not to mention, there's, from what we find out, like 6 or 7 tripods roaming around. And like you said, like buildings falling, explosions, death. Manny's character is without a doubt the most idiotic
Yep.
in the movie, without a doubt, dude. I
Without a
know,
doubt.
I know, Rachel and Robbie are the most annoying, can't fucking stand them, but Manny is a fucking idiot. And if I may, before we dive really into Manny, jumping back a little bit to the tripod scene, couldn't agree more. It is not perfect, but I do enjoy it. I think, like you said, the tripod design is so cool, and I love the noise it makes. Like that's like
Yeah.
a really scary noise.
Mm-hmm.
And especially the second part, like the first part is like the "Wah," but then it kind of like has an exhale. And still to this day, like the second part, like kind of like the exhale, my mind is always tricked into believing like a score is starting, like the soundtrack is starting, but I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh no, 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 that's like still the tripod making it sound. I really do enjoy the
Yeah.
introduction to that. But I will say though, a little too much carnage because it is just the tripods here shooting their lasers. I have no idea how that massive fucking bridge just flips. Like, what is it? Like 3 Godzillas in there, like punching things. Like when they're on their way out after Manny,
Yeah.
like how does this massive bridge flip the way it does? So, in my opinion, a little too overkill with the carnage
It just
doesn't
turned
really
up its
make sense.
blasters.
Yeah, just,
It
just
just
triple
supercharged them.
blasted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, you said it about Manny. Can't fucking stand him. He's an idiot. And
It's
how he
such an
doesn't know what's
insulting,
going on.
it's
Yeah,
so
dude.
insulting as a character. They just needed a reason in the movie for Tom Cruise to get a car.
Yeah.
So they were like, well, I guess we have to write in this garage scene, but like I don't know, like, hey, the customer's coming back. You gotta get out of the car, right? Get out of the car right now.
Yeah.
Like you don't see all the people running down the street, like
100%, dude.
crying and like hysterical, or again hear any of that destruction. It's just so ridiculous. Like you could take off 10
Very.
points from, if the movie starts as an A, it's an automatic B 10 minutes
I would
in,
say C.
because of that character alone, and like just the insulting display of writing.
Dude, I couldn't agree more.
But I do
If you're
actually like
saying a
that
B,
shot. I like that shot where
where he gets
the
killed.
no, well, yeah, I was hoping for that. I was rooting for him to die.
Well, yeah,
I was
but
so thankful. I was like, thank God.
thank Christ.
Danny, like That dude struggled to put his pants on his entire adult life.
Mm.
If like that's how he went day by day. But
Yeah, bro.
the bridge and all the cars crashing down in the row of homes, again, I think like the
You like
special
that shot?
effects are great. I think the shots are really Spielberg always has those really cool haunting shots, Jaws underwater with the
Hmm.
with the boater, Jurassic Park, some iconic shots there with the T-Rex and the Raptors and War of the Worlds. He's got some really cool ones in this one. But
He does. He does. I know we've already dove into Robbie and Rachel and how annoying and just bratty they are. Can't stand them. But when they get the van for Manny and they're heading out and they're the only car on the highway and he's telling Robbie what's happening, this is really where Rachel is like, as a first time viewer, this is like, okay, this kid beats out the kid from the Babadook. Like, this is the worst fucking character. When she's in the back seat screaming bloody murder and
just
she's
forced
like
screaming.
this,
Hmm.
take me to mom. Like, have you not seen the world is, have you not seen everything going on around you and you're just screaming, take me to mom? That is really, even though I already couldn't stand her to this,
How
this is
self-centered
like,
can you be as a kid?
yeah, dude, this is peak Rachel, can't fucking stand her, right?
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more.
Um, and finally they reached, Mom
Uh,
and Tim's place when he's trying to make them sandwiches. Robbie and I are gonna be eating peanut butter sandwiches. I will say too, I know last week when we were talking about Goodfellas, anytime I'm cooking steak, I quote Henry Hill. He cooks a great steak. I fucking quote this movie anytime I'm making a peanut butter sandwich. I say, Robbie and I are eating peanut butter sandwiches. Like he's just like so like gung ho on it. But what is up with the peanut butter? It is the runniest peanut butter
Nice.
he
I
opens
was like,
it
is
and
that
like
organic?
he just kind of like tilts it and it just comes running out. I'm like, that is not peanut butter. And if it is, that is the runniest fucking peanut butter ever. It is
Couldn't
not that thin.
couldn't agree more. I love how they walk into this house too. It's a mansion for one. And the kids are like, Mom, Tim. They're like screaming for 5 more minutes. It's like you do realize that they just dropped you off because you're telling me
Going to
Mommy and
Boston.
Tim didn't tell you that they were going to Boston.
Right.
Ray comes in, he's like, they're not here. They're never here. They're in Boston.
Yep.
Okay, you know that they're in Boston. Why not just help yourself to what they've got in the refrigerator? They got
Right?
a big ass fridge. You probably
Right?
be cooking a mean steak. They
He
probably
cooks a
have some
great steak.
they probably have some good shit there. Like, and the kids
100%.
don't even the
Think of
kids
that
don't
shit.
even think of it. It's like rather
Yeah.
than, oh, not hungry, not hungry. Okay, sure. Again, the basement scene.
I got back problems.
Yeah, you're about to have a lot more problems. You're about to be traumatized for life. Um,
Straight up. And then when he finally gets a little annoyed with her, he's like, no more talking. She's like, could you be a little nicer to me? It's like, no, bitch, shut the fuck up. He's
right.
actually being too nice. What are you talking about?
If you're asking stupid questions, you're asking stupid questions.
Right?
But they hear this airplane about to crash outside, and he's like, no, this is something else. And then the noise gets really loud and insane. And
Yeah.
again, I'm also not sure that like the closet where all the gas furnaces is necessarily the place to go.
Right?
Like the entire neighborhood just gets blown up by this airplane
Yep.
crash. You gotta think like
Let's go next to the propane tank.
that would have started some gas fires, you would think, and they're like, oh, we're gonna hide in the gas closet. And how do you fall asleep after that? The next scene,
Dude,
it's like they
dude.
wake up and it's like 9 a.m. The sun's up. It's like, oh yeah. I often tend to take a nap after an airplane crashes outside of my house. Just like that, like without any problem whatsoever.
They do wake up, they're alive, and Tom Cruise comes out first and he's, exposed to that news van, which rewatching this, I did catch something that I never got before, which is, a reoccurring thing that we talk about on the show. And what I caught was that woman from the newscast talking about the shields. I don't know
Hmm.
why, but for how many times I've watched this, I guess I haven't been paying attention to that, but I watched that and she's the one who really lays it out for Tom Cruise to later in the movie be mindful of. oh, there's fucking birds coming up. I never got that. Like literally until rewatching it this time where it's like that woman talking about the shields.
She's so
Um
mean to her cameraman. You hear that? I know you can't hear it because you're deaf. Your stupid camera saved your stupid life. Like, why are you insulting him right now? Why are you even working? The world is ending.
yeah.
You just don't want to be with your family. Like, you're driving
Yeah.
around, like, oh, that would have been a really great story. I love
Yep.
too how like her cameraman's deaf, but he can still hear the tripod start.
That was
It's
gonna
like,
be
wait,
that was my radar right now. I was just about to bring that shit up. You
I
can't
don't
hear
know.
Tom Cruise screaming in his fucking ears,
Right,
but he hears a tripod 40 miles away. He's looking up like, oh my God.
right. Not only is the entire town neighborhood cul-de-sac is in ruins.
Right?
Okay. Their van unscathed.
Yes. Of
Not
course.
only that, but then they have a perfect little path to drive out of. It's
Of
like
course. Yep.
movie magic.
And another thing I can't stand about Robbie, like he's painted as this like rebellious, like angry teenager, but it's like just on steroids. Cannot stand him. At times, I think he's more annoying than fucking Rachel. sh- he goes down, gets them. Rachel, keep your eyes on me. They're going to the car, and Robbie just like runs away, like hands on, like just looking so angry at the destroyed neighborhood. And it's like he's all furious and angry. Like, Robbie, what the fuck are you gonna do? Like,
Everybody
just
has lost their
shut
shit.
up.
Yeah.
Everybody's lost their he's just playing as this. I cannot stand how they wrote his character particularly because it's like he's just this angry, like vengeful teen. It's like, dude,
Who wants
what are you
revenge?
going to do?
Revenge
And
against what?
yeah,
Yeah.
and we're gonna get to that later. I can't wait to. But like in this scene particularly, it really paints like his anger of the situation. It's like
Yeah,
you're
he's
a
a
fucking
douchebag.
loser. Like get
He's
in
a
the
douche.
fucking back seat. We'll take
Yeah.
Rachel in the front over him because
Right.
I can't
Right.
stand you at this point. You know what I mean?
Same. Yeah, the only, he faces adversity for the first time in the movie, like up to this point, 10 minutes later when he has to drive through some people on the streets, and then he's all of a sudden,
Yeah.
Dad,
Daddy!
you need to
Daddy!
drive.
Here. He literally, yeah, you're right. He literally acts Tom Cruise like he looks like, hey, can you take over? It's like, hey, I thought you were like
Big bad
Need for
man here,
Speed. Like, I
ready to
thought you were
join the
ready to
army.
like handle business. Yeah,
Right,
right. Like,
right.
oh, I can't stand that scene too. And Rachel's like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom. First off, Tom Cruise looks at her like, really? Like, well, yeah, probably. She hasn't pissed in probably 8 fucking hours. But it's like,
Yeah, why is
but
that
it's
such a He's like,
yeah, like
children have to use the bathroom.
he's like, really? Like, yes. But once again, not to piggyback too much, but so annoying. He literally fucking says, don't go too far, and she feels the need to run 3/4 of a mile away through the woods to piss in
Skipping through
front
the
of,
woods.
yeah,
Yeah.
to piss in front of the river, which he comes and gets her. And it's just so disobedient and
And
just
then she doesn't
bratty.
piss anyway.
She doesn't even piss, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like
He comes
just
and
that
rescues
scene.
her, and yeah, horrible scene. Well, first we run into one of Tom Cruise's just hookup ladies.
Hey,
Earl.
hey, Cheryl.
But I love that shot when they're all loading the ferry. I wanted to mention this too,
Hmm.
because this reminded me of it. When they're approaching the ferry and now they're walking because they lose their car. I don't understand that mob mentality. They destroy the van.
Right.
It's like, well, now no one has it because you just destroyed it.
Yeah.
So
Beat
dumb.
shit.
And of course, you have a woman holding a baby standing in the middle of the fucking road. That makes no
Right.
sense at all. In the pouring rain, there's a diner right there, lady. Why aren't you sitting in the diner with your fucking baby rather than standing outside in an angry mob in the middle of the street?
A
No
diner
less.
who literally has a waitress working.
Yeah.
What is going on?
A great catch. I didn't even
The
recognize that one.
fuck is going on? There's a fucking waitress in there, but yeah, they lose the van, and this is something else that gets me is they make it a point to walk past a long billboard of Lost and Found. Let's just put ourselves in a movie like this. Who's stopping to look at the fucking Lost and Found board and be like, oh,
Who had
yeah,
time to make those posters?
I think I saw this kid. Should we try to, reach out and like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
why even put something like that in the movie? In an apocalyptic event like this, who's making posters, as you pointed out? And even if by some chance you're like, oh, I saw that guy yesterday, you really think they're gonna go out of their way to fucking find you or
right.
contact you? Because last I checked, phones don't even work in this movie anymore. So it's like what I like something like that is just a stupid detail that doesn't need to be there. You know what I mean?
I agree completely. And logic would tell me in that sense. If I'm gonna go hang up a poster and I see, oh wow, 500 other people have done that also, chances are they're all a bunch of crispy critters. Like, there's
Come
no
down. We're upstairs. We're partying. Come down, crispy
crispy
critter.
critter.
Hey, listen, I will say the ferry scene, when we were talking about the introduction to the tripods, in my opinion, the second coolest scene. My opinion, the first coolest scene in this movie is the ferry scene.
I do too. I
I
like that
love
a
how
lot.
they come creeping up through the darkness on the
See
dark
the
hill.
trees are moving on the
Oh, dude,
yeah.
cool shot there. And then, of course, they let out like that. Like, I just think it's such a rad scene.
And it stops everyone in their tracks, like just the fear in their faces is, yeah,
Yep,
brilliant scene in my opinion.
yep,
He knows how
yep.
to do an action sequence. If nothing else, this movie has some great action sequences. Cheryl gets left behind and like
I can't wait for this. Go ahead. Go ahead.
and they're like sneaking down around to like jip the line and
Yeah,
sneak onto the boat from the side. And
yep,
Tom Cruise and his kids get on, of course, but the army guy puts his arm up and blocks her, and she's so like, "No, I can go with them." And
yeah,
he's like, "Why? Why can you go?" They're not even supposed to go. They
right.
just they just skipped the line and snuck on. Like,
Yeah.
no, how entitled do you think you are, lady? Back in line. You're
Dude,
not getting on the ferry.
you said it. And Race, he intentionally tries to look so concerned. He like turns around, he's like, Cheryl, there's still room on the boat. And he's like trying, I think because he knows he's in sight, but if you notice, as soon as the fucking gate comes up and they're out of sight, he's like, all right, fuck her, I'm done.
Good. I don't need
He's like,
another.
I just need to like play like I cared, but like now that she can't see me,
I don't need
okay,
more.
she's
I don't
done.
need a woman and more kids to take care
Yeah.
of in this moment. Yeah. Why are there
Bro,
cars on the ferry though? Like they could have fit
oh my God, they could have
hundreds
fit
of people
hundreds
on
more,
there.
bro.
Not that it would have mattered because the ferry goes down in dramatic fashion.
Yeah. Well, how about the soldier who's up in Tom Cruise's face? Did you see who that is? The military officer who's like trying to block them on. He's like, "No, you can't come on. It's full." Blah blah blah. Do you know who that
There's no
is?
more room. There's no more room.
Yeah.
Uh, I feel like I do.
Once I tell you, you're gonna be
Go
like, "Oh,
ahead. Go ahead.
it's Damien from Mean Girls."
Nah.
Swear to God, look it up, bro. It's
Is it
fucking.
really?
Well, okay, I will say I didn't bother to look it up, but it looks just like him.
Speaking,
It looks just like the Damien
you're right.
two
It
blank to
does look
function
like him.
guy.
It
Just
really
like
does.
him, bro. But yeah, once again, I do love the this scene with the primarily the tripods, but a few things. Once again, when it comes up from underwater, one thing wasn't really a fan when it exposes itself and it's up. It's kind of like playfully tipping over like the boat to like fuck with them. And in a way, like it looks like it's like tipping it with like its hands, like its
Yeah, I don't
fingertips.
understand that either. Like, what are those claws over the railing of the boat? Like, we've
Why
never.
wouldn't you just hammer fist them either? Like I'm just gonna play with them and like yeah, I might tip you over, but maybe not. You know, like I wasn't really sure of
Or
that.
bring up one of its tentacles and just smack it down in the middle of the boat and sink it.
Yeah. And following the ferry scene, they're in the water and one of those cars that you just spoke on, like why are there even cars there? Comes down, which makes no sense how it comes down because if you look at them all, they're all like parked perfectly, but then this specific car like
Yeah.
magically switches
It's
directions and comes
vertical. Yeah.
yeah, like straight down them. I'm sorry, that's killing them and if not killing them, like shattering their ribs. Like
Yeah.
it comes down with
Yeah.
such force. But of course, like it grabs them and takes them out of harm's way, which does lead to another really cool shot. They get up, kind of onto land, and they go up like a tall hill, like kind of like a mountain. And you also do get another really cool shot of tripods like coming down and just kind of wasting just like hundreds of people, and just it from the view they just look like little ants, and they're just
Yeah.
getting fucking
You just
destroyed.
hear all the screaming.
Yeah, I do enjoy that shot. I think that's a very cool shot as
It
well,
is. Yeah, it is for sure. I do remember the sound design on the next scene too, when they're like walking through the farm area with all the other people and the army is like at the top of the mountain. You can see the clouds, the explosions in the distance, and
Yeah.
Robbie just takes off running for whatever reason. The jets that fly by and like do that strafing run.
Yeah.
Sick. Like I remember in theaters like how booming in the theater that was. And I love that in a movie. Like if you're going for action sequences, you want that surround sound. You want that fully immersive experience to be deafening, you know? And that was one thing that this movie really succeeded at was like the military scenes, the alien tripod scenes, like just the sounds and the mixing of it all was pretty well done. I remember that. But yeah, what the fuck is his plan here? Because
Oh my God. I know, dude. There's a lot to unpack here. First off, what's up with the scene as a whole? I get what you're saying and I dig it. With the military, you have hundreds of civilians just running up the hill towards them. We're gonna dive into Robbie here, but after the Robbie situation, they're all running backwards. And I'm like, why are there so many people here? Why are they running up the hill, running down the hill? Makes no fucking sense. But Robbie specifically, what is your fucking plan? He just runs into battle with no weapon, no armor, no training. He just runs in. Are you just gonna run up to like a tripod and start like kicking it and punching it, like kind of similar to like the one Argonaut and Jason and the Argonauts with Talos, where he goes up and just like stabs its toe. Like,
yeah.
what is your plan here? I think you've seen Red Dawn too many times, not the good one, the fucking remake. Like, what are
Right.
you doing? What are
Right.
you
I
doing?
couldn't agree more. It's ridiculous. Like he's obsessed. Like he just keeps saying, I have to do this. Let me go. What do you have to do?
Yeah,
Tell him what you have to do because what it looks like you have to do is you want to just run in and die.
right.
Like you don't have a weapon. You're
Yep.
not qualified to handle any weapons anyway. So like what is your end goal here? You just want to watch? Like, okay, badass. I mean,
Yeah, truly bitch it.
by the time the movie's over, it's like, no, you actually just wanted to get away from your sister and your dad, and you wanted to fend for yourself and make it home to mommy, okay? Because that's what you ended up doing.
Straight up.
Like
Yeah.
it's just horrible. I don't understand it.
It's actually really funny though, because like Tom Cruise finally is like, all right, fine, go. And he literally runs, and within 5 seconds, there's just a massive fireball, just a massive
He's
explosion.
Robbie.
Like, could you just imagine though if like that's where Robbie died? Like, I feel like that would have made the movie a little better. Like, Robbie dies there. Like, they
I
should have just
agree.
had that happen.
I
Like, how
agree.
does he get there? This massive explosion happens, and then he just makes his way to Boston. It makes no fucking sense. But like, hey, you want it, you got it. Like, I want to go fight, and you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're
Right.
battling aliens. You're battling alien tripods with
Yeah,
no
right.
weapons or anything. So,
I
yeah,
couldn't
I
agree
can't
more.
stand that scene. That's probably we were talking about Rachel in the backseat of the car screaming, where that's like her most annoying scene. This one for Robbie, in my opinion, is like the worst, dude. Makes no
Yeah.
fucking sense.
I
You
do
know?
like that shot too of all the Apache helicopters coming around
Oh
and they
yeah.
all like unload their Hellfires on like again,
Yep.
pretty sick scene and visual when that explosion happens and he's standing there like the Jeeps start rolling backwards on fire and the
Hmm.
tripods just emerge through the flames and everything like
Yeah.
pretty rad in my opinion. Like just the action sequences again, that's all that held this movie together over the years, really.
What's wrong with inserting more of that? This is really there's really only two military versus alien scenes, and the second one is the aliens' shields are gone and the fight's over. Like, it's called War of the Worlds. What's wrong with inserting more of that rather than following a family of annoying fucking characters?
Good
Like,
question. Good
you
question.
know?
It's you're right. It is called War of the Worlds. And you would think like, I don't know, the movie's what, an hour and 45, hour and 50 long. Like I wouldn't be
Pretty
opposed to a
long.
movie like this being 2 to 2.5 hours long and like dedicating 20 minutes alone to seeing what the actual war is looking like.
Yeah. Agreed.
As well as like what the humans are experiencing running for their lives. You don't really get much of that though either in the book. I read the book. H.G. Wells wrote it in the 1800s, I believe.
That's insane.
Insane. And I don't know what you know about the original story, but like, it's back in the 1800s, I think in England, if I read it 20 years ago at this point, but it was a great book. And it's pretty interesting, like how anybody could have wrote this 150, 200 years ago,
Definitely.
honestly,
Yeah,
like way ahead of its time.
for
But,
sure.
the book was also then read on the radio. You know how people used to get their entertainment?
Yep. Yep.
Little Orphan Annie, Christmas Story, 20s and 30s. It was read on the radio, but they
Yes.
sold it as like a radio broadcast, like
Yes.
without a warning. People were offing themselves
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
thought
It
the world
caused
was ending,
nationwide panic.
which is also crazy to think about. Like, could you imagine living back then and just happen to be turning on the radio and hearing that like space invaders in metal tripods are destroying the cities?
Up until this point, all they know about like anything potentially scary is like Universal monsters, like Lon Chaney, Boris Karloff, and then you turn on the radio and it's fucking
If they
yeah,
even had that
aliens.
yet, like I have to look at, you're right, but like I'm not even sure that we had gotten to that point yet with movies. Like I think
Maybe
that
Nosferatu,
maybe, yeah,
Silence, you know what I
perhaps,
mean?
yeah, perhaps. I have to look when that was up, but
That's
or when that happened.
crazy.
But
How
yeah,
is that fucking book written over 100 some years ago? Like what?
H.G. Wells, and he also wrote a book called The Time Machine. Imagine that.
See, that's what we're talking about to start this episode. That is not coincidence. Is he a fucking alien or is he an interdimensional traveler? Like, how is that a fucking thing? Like,
Right,
seriously, it's
right.
insane, bro. I'll have to read that book though. That's interesting. I didn't I knew about the live broadcasting, but some of those other like as far as like the book itself, the plot, I'm not really too sure anything about it.
You should read it. You would like it. It was one of those, I had the thick, hard-covered, great illustrated classics of it. Remember, I had like
I
six
do.
of them. They were like the hard-covered
Yeah.
for young readers, but it's a
Yeah,
good
hell yeah.
book. I would recommend it. We're not hosting an intergalactic kegger down here.
Captain America over here. Oh, dude,
Best of the best
I
of the
just,
best, sir.
with
With
honors.
honors, He's
He's
just
just
really
really
excited.
excited. He has
No
no
clue
clue
why
why
we're
we're
here.
here. Bro, I
I
just
would.
watched that shit a few weeks ago. It's so good.
That shit is a hilarious movie.
Especially Tommy Lee breaking down the history of it. Like once again, like they break it down and they like explain like the cover. And even though
Right?
it's a movie, like it makes total fucking sense
It
how they
does,
break
right?
it down. It's so
Again,
interesting.
just a movie, or are they sprinkling in little,
Right. Yeah.
dropping little breadcrumbs for humanity over each decade to like get more
Yep.
breadcrumbs, and then it's like, oh, full on disclosure days here. Aliens are real, and people are just not phased by it at all
That's
because
the
they've been
thing.
being breadcrumbed by it for 50 years.
Yeah, absolutely. They're coming out with all of these stories and they're confirming all of these major theories that people have had for hundreds of years and nobody fucking cares. You know why? Because it's like, oh, what did she wear to the Grammys? Or, what are Travis and Taylor doing? Or who's playing the halftime show? And it's like, all those distractions we talk about is right here, what we're flipping through. And it's like, when massive shit like this breaks, nobody fucking cares. And it's insane when you think about it because of where people's minds are and what they actually care about. Makes no
Right.
sense to me. I don't get it, the whole thing.
I'm good. The whole thing. I thought
Um,
Travis and Taylor. I thought Taylor was a reptilian.
is it? I don't know. Is
I've
she?
seen a video of like her and like the Queen of England, like her song "Shake It Off" is talking about shaking off her scales and like
Really? Wow.
yeah, you've not
Okay.
read about that? Oh yeah.
No, I have
People who are
not.
influencers and like people who become famous, they're made famous for a reason. It's because they're aliens.
No.
They're
Okay.
influencing humanity and like keeping them distracted on what humans are interested in. But really, it's all ploy because they're blood-sucking reptilians.
Yeah, man. That's insane.
It is, right?
We'll have to look into that. But no, I mean, jumping back to War of the Worlds, after this ridiculous scene with Robbie, we get another really ridiculous scene. We come across, I'm just gonna refer to him as Andy Dufresne because I just cannot look at this actor and just
Tim
picture
Robbins.
anything. Tim Robinson.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna call him Andy Dufresne, dude. I mean, he's in this house in literally the middle of the battlefield where there's not only hundreds of people, but like hundreds of military personnel. You got the aliens. I mean, you're smack dab in the middle of like Gettysburg, if you will. The fact that like Tom Cruise and Rachel are the only ones that go in, nobody else like breaks in, nobody else is there. And the fact that nobody just disturbs them with all of the action that's going on also makes no fucking sense. They're just like, yep, like come on in. You know what I mean? Like have a
Yeah.
drink. Like meanwhile, all this shit is literally in my backyard, front yard, side yard.
And they're
Um,
looking out the windows from the basement, and
yeah,
there's like five tripods
right there.
right there with all their little probes and sensors. Like, why
Yeah,
are you leaving this barn alone? Like, why wouldn't they just wipe that out from the get-go or be searching it for the
yeah.
past how many days, you know?
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense. There's a lot to unpack here. Why are you transitioning to a scene like that here? What are you trying to
I know.
what are you trying to accomplish here? It's the dumbest fucking scene in
It
the
kills
movie.
any momentum the movie has. It
Yeah.
slows the pace down to a standstill. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, so now we have to have that humanity element where it's like we're not only fighting the aliens, but we're fighting humans who go crazy as well. It's like, spare us. We've seen it 1,000 times. And
Right.
Tim Robbins is a great actor, but yeah, I hate the scene. It just destroys any. I don't care about humans who have gone mad. I'd rather a human go mad and like want to
Yeah.
fight back than not, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's just, I agree with you. It's a stupid scene. It just destroys the pacing of the movie.
Yeah, straight up, dude. I mean, he literally introduces himself, pours him a drink, and it literally goes from like a heart to heart, like you lose anybody like for like 30 seconds, and then literally like 10 seconds after that, it's already transitioning to like Andy Dufresne like bullying him and like standing over him and like sizing him up, and it's like, oh wow, that whole mood switched in a matter of
Yeah.
like 45 seconds. So we know where this is heading, and his mindset is all over the place to like, we're hiding out here. I lost everybody to no, I'm gonna fight from underneath them. We're gonna come up from, underneath them the way they did with us with like one fucking
One
shotgun.
shotgun
One
that he
shotgun's like,
walks around
okay,
without even loaded.
yeah, dude. And it's just all over the place. His character is all over the place. It makes no sense to me. But Rachel and Cruz, they chill there. They're back and forth. The aliens do start to kind of probe it. They start to search it. And this is what I wanted to point out. You just actually brought it up. The fucking gun isn't even loaded. He puts one shell in it when there's three fucking aliens in the basement. He puts one shell in it. And are you
Does
trying
he
to tell
cock it
me
too? Does he cock
he
it?
cocks it? Yeah, he
I
does.
hate that in movies. Why do like you don't need to
Yeah,
cock a shotgun. You chamber around underneath of it right from the get-go.
yeah.
You know, you
Just
you have the chamber open and you put a shell in and you slide it forward. Like there's no put a shell in and like that's not real. Like why in movies do they feel the need to do like are they that out of touch with guns and like not know how a gun works that like that's what they think they do?
I
Like
think so. I
it's
think so.
so annoying. Yeah.
To answer your question, I think there's just no research there, no knowledge whatsoever, and they're like, "Ooh, this will look cool. This is how it is."
Yeah.
But Tom Cruise, he puts hands on him, and they start kind of fussling over the shotgun. You trying to tell me three aliens 6 feet away can't hear two men fighting over a fucking shotgun? Like they're
Yeah.
just oblivious to it. And I'm sorry, if I'm Tom Cruise, I'm letting him pull the trigger and try to attack them. And I'm just gonna hide. Like, okay, go ahead, try to attack them because I know they're just gonna rip you to shreds,
Yeah.
and then I'll just be chilling here with my daughter, safe. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So if I'm actually cruising that situation, I'm not even interjecting, man. Like,
I
go do
agree.
your thing. You know what I mean?
I agree. Just a drug out, pointless 15 or 20 minutes of the movie
Yeah.
that just pisses you off more than anything.
It does.
Yeah, and results in Tom Cruise having to become a murderer. He's not a murderer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so random. He just fucking
He's just
murders
like, all
Andy
right, honey,
Dufresne. I'm gonna blindfold you and go kill this guy.
I gotta kill him.
Keep singing your song, hold your ribbon, I'll be back.
He hit me with a
Um,
shovel. Stop it!
yeah, I don't know what it is with this last like quarter of the movie. It's so bad. He kills Andy Dufresne. Dakota Fanning runs away when the alien probe's in there. He goes running after her. And I wanted to bring this up to you, see what you thought. Tripod has Rachel. It's walking away from Cruz. He grabs the grenades, throws one grenade, it explodes on like a tentacle hanging, and it turns around. All I could picture is Danny McBride from Pineapple Express just running away, like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Again, it explodes on the shield.
Oh, oh, oh.
When he throws that first grenade and it
So it
turns
doesn't even hit
around,
him. It hits the
it
shield.
hits the blue shield. Yeah.
I did not catch that, but now I know what you're
Yep.
saying because they
Yep.
have shields at this point.
Is that why you've always wondered, like, I don't understand the birds at the end?
Yes.
Justin, the entire movie
Yes, I've been saying this to you for
since
25
2005
fucking years.
for 20 years not understanding.
I didn't
The
get it.
tripods have an electrical generator, like shield, protective shield bubble around them. So if you threw a rock or shot a gun or threw a grenade, it stops at the shield. And so by the time the ending rolls around, which we're there now, the shields are down, so the military's weapons are working against them, which is why Tom Cruise is like, look at the goddamn birds to that military guy, because the military guy's like, oh wow, there's birds sitting on top of the tripod, which means they got through the shield, which means our weapons will get through the shield. I've tried to explain this to you for literally 20
I know you
years.
have. I know you have. I just got it this last rewatch because
Gotcha.
of literally that woman. I always overlooked what she said. I guess I was never paying attention.
You were laughing for 10 minutes at her line delivery to notice what the importance of that
The
scene
most
was.
important
Yeah.
fucking statement of the whole
You
movie.
were,
Easily fucking five times where I said to you growing up, like, I just don't get it. You're like, Justin, what the fuck is there not to
what do you
get?
not get at this point?
I was like,
I
I
don't know.
just
It's
don't
like
get it. I don't get it.
the
Holy.
birds are through the shield. What shield?
And I was like,
And I'm like,
are the birds
exactly.
killing them or what? Holy shit. You
And
try to
you'd be like,
explain that for me.
oh, I still don't get it.
I cannot believe this has finally been resolved, in 21 years. It's
21
finally
years.
been resolved. You've been trying to fucking educate me on this shit for that long, and I'm just like, fuck you. I don't get it.
You're like, I don't care that much.
No, I do. I fucking always did. That's hysterical. But yeah, it's a really just one of those scenes. Okay, it picks him up. He's put in the cage with Rachel, and you just know what's coming. He's got the grenades. He's gonna play hero. It's so predictable, and it makes no sense when it chooses him because he's already got one arm holding on to, the people trying to pull him, and then he's holding these grenades, and it's like, okay, you literally see that go within,
Yeah.
and then it's like only exposed his like head and arm, and it's like, but then when he's, disappears and he's like in the alien ship, he like miraculously pops two grenades and leaves them in there.
Upside down, somebody who has no military experience whatsoever
Yeah.
knows how to pop a grenade upside down. Grenades
Yeah.
also don't explode like that. I hate that in movies. It's like a grenade
Yes.
makes like literally a pop.
It's like a sound more
It's
than
a
anything.
vibrational concussion
Yes.
explosion, that like its
Yep.
effective radius is like 10, 15 yards, if that. It like sends this huge explosion throughout the entire tripod that takes it out. It's so dumb. I can't stand that in movies.
He takes down a whole tripod single-handedly, and their cage lands safely in a tree, and they're able to get out and walk to Boston. And that really is what leads us to our conclusion here.
Which is
Um,
really anticlimactic, if I have to say. Like, it's
yeah,
very underwhelming ending.
yeah,
Make it to Boston. Oh, the shields are down. Bring in the javelin, and they shoot the javelin, and down it
yeah,
goes. And oh wow, that's it. Like it's over. And they walk, and of course the wife's ex-wife's parents' neighborhood is perfectly unscathed.
right.
They're wearing their Sunday's best. They probably just got done eating like a ham dinner or something.
Oh, and that Sunday ham you bought is
Tastes real
real.
good. You know what I mean? It's like
Oh, for sure.
they all answer the door like it's fucking step by step, all like casual. The grandpa's got his hands in his pockets, like, oh wow, you made it. Like
He like
finally,
pulls
we
out his like pocket watch,
just
like, oh, 12 past
2 days
5.
late.
Yeah. He probably got home though, and was like, yeah, took down 4 tripods by myself.
I
Like,
ran away from dad. He got up in my face. I said no.
said the
I'm
hell with
going
you.
fight. I'm gonna go fight. I tried to take my sister with, but he didn't let me.
Yeah, straight up, dude.
So annoying.
It
But
is, you're right. It's pretty anticlimactic. And even though I love the show Band of Brothers, in my opinion, one of the best shows of all time, probably in my top five if we're talking shows,
Sure.
the original.
Yep.
What's up with the Band of Brothers score to cap that? It's like playing like these like World War II like trumpets. I'm like, what the fuck kind of score is this to go out? Did you catch that?
Yeah, a little too uplifting, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. It just didn't match the rest or match the rest of the tone of the movie, I guess, as far as
Yeah.
scores go. But yeah, I didn't like the ending. I didn't like the movie. I would say
It sucked.
honestly, it sucked. Yeah, it's probably one of Steven Spielberg's worst movies, honestly, which is a
Yeah.
shame. I honestly want I want a remake of it. Like I know
It's
it's been
coming.
done, it's done to death, like I get it, but like I don't know, there was Ice Cube did a version of it. I think he's in one that got panned by audience or got absolutely destroyed by critics. I didn't watch it.
Hmm.
And then they did another TV show of it, like a British BBC channel one, I think. Also didn't catch my attention. I didn't watch it. I would love a true adaptation of the novel, H.G. Wells. Make it 1800s.
Couldn't agree more.
I
Couldn't
feel
agree
like
more.
keep it true to the book. Just follow the book. Give it another shot. I don't think it would make a shit ton of money because of how many adaptations there have been to it, but it would make back its profit, I'm sure, if it was like true to the novel, set in the time of the novel. I just think it would be killer. That's what I hope for out of a remake at this point. Doubtful we'll ever get it, but in terms of this movie, I'm going like D plus, C minus. I'll give it a C minus to be fair because the action
Yeah.
sequences are great. The
Yeah.
special effects are great. Sound design's great. But yeah, everything about that, it's not Tom Cruise's best performance. I can't stand the characters throughout the movie. The script is weak. The only thing going for it is the tripods and the certain set designs and attack sequences and
Hmm.
sound mixes. What about you?
Yeah, I'm giving it a C minus as well. Pretty much everything you just said, to a T. I really do enjoy the tripod scenes. I think it's really cool, but I mean, we just broke this down over an hour, and it's just the cons outweigh the pros 10 to 1.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not even fair. But I don't think I can shit on it too much to go D or an F, but give me a C minus. I agree. If they're doing a remake, I would love to see like an 1800s, like Boardwalk Empire, even like early 1900s, like
Truly seeing technology that we've never seen on Earth
yes,
before type
dude.
thing, like
Like we don't even know what like real
metal
cars are, or like, you know what I mean? Like, and now all of a sudden you have this shit popping up. Like I think that would be so cool.
same.
For sure. So yeah, I'll give it a C minus. It was a lot of fun though, and I just thought with everything going on in the real world and Disclosure Day pending, I was really looking forward to watching it. And the last little note I'll add before we cap is Kelly goes, I liked it. I was scared. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I thought it
No,
was terrible.
I get it.
Um,
Amanda actually, we
um,
shut it off like three-quarters of the way through, and she's like, "This is too action-packed for me."
yeah. Jesus Christ. He's right. He's
He's
right.
right.
But yeah, no, it was fun. It was fun. Anybody who's watching, comment below. Where do you rank this among Steven Spielberg films? Do you enjoy it? Yay or nay? Explain why. Please like and subscribe. And it was a lot of fun. So thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it.
Good talk tonight, and we'll talk next week.